you, in my experience, the worst people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, you could just fuck an athlete. They're really done.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. This is by far one of the saddest stories I've had to cover on this channel. So just hopefully you guys could take a cautionary tale out of this. Usually we upload this type of content on my third channel, TheFlightMike TV, but whenever there's a basketball player involved, just so I could grow my third channel that's at 72,000 subscribers and give it some love, I like posting this stuff here whenever a basketball player is involved, or a football player. If a football player is involved, I'll usually post it on microphone. Now, before we get to the content, just a reminder, I'm giving away multiple copies of NBA 2K22. All you have to do is be followed on Instagram or be followed on Twitter. I'm giving away multiple copies to both followers. And now that we got all that out of the way, cue the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? I apologize if my voice sounds a little bit weird. I'm currently recording with a really sore throat, but I really had to get this video out to you guys because, well, I feel like this is a cautionary tale for most of us, unfortunately. Now, for those of you guys that don't know who PJ Washington is, he is a 2019 NBA draft lottery pick, being selected number 12 overall by the Charlotte Hornets, and for the most part, he's been a fairly decent role player thus far. He has tremendous defensive versatility, and although he's by no means a star in the league, he definitely has carved out a niche for himself with the Charlotte Hornets earlier on in his career, averaging about 12.6 points per game, shooting 45% from the field and 38% from three, while he averages 4.3 three-pointers attempted per game. So those are pretty solid numbers considering that he's a role player. If he keeps that up, then he will eventually get a good payday, especially considering that defensively he's positive in DBPM. But regardless, he's still on a rookie scale contract, so he doesn't necessarily get paid as much as some of the other role players in the league. For example, Luke Kennard recently signed a 4-year, $64 million contract with the Los Angeles Clippers last year. That's about $16 million per year. Marcus Morris, the same amount, $16 million per year. Joe Harris gets paid $18.7 million per year. So that's what typically happens if you're a player that has a skill set that is in demand in the NBA and you're a little bit older. But in PJ's case, he can't really see that type of money for another 2 years at the very least, based off of how his restricted free agency is handled. And so far, he's made $7.8 million as a pro and is slated to make about $14 million over the next 2 seasons. Well, during his professional basketball playing career, PJ Washington, when he was a member of the Kentucky Wildcats, shot his shot at Brittany Renner after she attended a game of his when he was playing in Kentucky in 2019. Now, if you don't know who Brittany Renner is, she is an Instagram model with about 4.6 million followers and an entrepreneur. And to be honest, although she's accomplished a lot in her life, she's been very open about the fact that most of her accomplishments came as a result of several ulterior motives. For example, she started her online career as a means of elevating her family's status, explaining on the radio in 2015 that she did not come from a super educated family. She went to college for 2.5 years, and she really wasn't passionate about anything she was doing there. A lot of my business money just came from wanting to be better. Even when I was in college and I was out of school and kind of working job to job, I always kind of knew I wanted to be something better and really just want better for my family. She went ahead and even wrote a book about several romantic encounters with several celebrities, including Colin Kaepernick, Trey Songz, Drake, Tyga, Chris Brown, and Lil Uzi Vert. Apparently, Lil Uzi Vert cheated on her, and Brittany responded to this saying that you really didn't care to spend time with me. You actually didn't respond the day I had texted you. I'd given you so many other chances after embarrassing me publicly time after time again when I knew you were with someone else on top of the other one and God knows how many more. In that interview, she said that she loved Lil Uzi Vert, but she also mentioned that she hasn't been in love for years. Another weird thing that she has going on for her is she created her fake online persona to apparently regain control of her life. In this YouTube video titled "Time to Expose the Truth," Brittany explained that the reason why she was so controlling was because she was in several abusive relationships, and as a result, she would pursue men in committed relationships and adopted a fake online persona to make her feel powerful and in control. This is the direct quote. Listen to this. "I've been involved with men in committed relationships. I saw power in knowing that the relationship wasn't real. I wanted what they had. I was not possessed by an evil spirit or demons or bound to a soul tie. I was doing exactly what I wanted to do. I feel like my own brand has been built on a facade. Like any person who has ever met me in real life would say that I am different in real life, nothing like what I portray on Instagram." Now, you might be wondering, okay, why is this important? Well, this past week, PJ Washington and Brittany Renner, I don't even know if I'm saying her name properly. Is it Brittany Renner, Brittany Renner? Let me know in the comment section. I don't really keep up with Instagram models if I'm being honest. But both PJ Washington and Brittany went viral for all the wrong reasons. And it's kind of like at the very beginning, it's a little funny at face value. If you just want to meme it, you're going to laugh at it. But if you were in PJ Washington's situation, I can only imagine how heartbreaking this situation can be for the man. So after Brittany got played by several men, eventually she decided that it was going to be her that did the playing. Now, a few weeks ago, there was this viral post by Hoops Bank saying that PJ Washington is now forced to pay $200,000 a month in child support over the next 18 years. Ex-wife secretly filed for divorce 2 weeks after giving birth to a child. So literally 2 weeks after Brittany gave birth to a child, she apparently secretly filed for divorce. Now, a lot of this story, as sad as it may seem, just really doesn't add up to me because first things first, you can't secretly file for a divorce. It's not like a woman could go behind a man's back, file for divorce, and get him to sign papers without him knowing. That's just ridiculous, you know? But here's another thing that makes this story a little bit strange. I don't think PJ Washington and Brittany Renner were ever married. I think they were together, but I don't think they were ever married. I was looking all over the internet for some sort of confirmation that these two were married, but I couldn't find anything. There are some instances where Brittany is called PJ's ex-wife, so I'm just going to assume that they were never married because this secretly filed for divorce stuff doesn't make sense either. But when you put all that aside, this entire story is not only extremely unfortunate, but it's borderline disgusting, but it also kind of makes a lot of sense. When you get someone that is as psychologically disturbed as Brittany based off of her previous experiences with men, it's no shock that she would actually go and prey on PJ Washington. And yes, I'm literally calling her a predator because it's really strange to me that when she was 26 years old, she would start going to PJ Washington's games, make it seem like she was into PJ Washington, have a child with PJ Washington, and then leave 2 weeks after just so she could collect a check, which is 100% what she did. You don't just all of a sudden have a kid and say, okay, my kid is here, you owe me child support. I don't know how much. I don't know if it's going to be $200,000 a month because PJ Washington and Brittany Renner are saying that that number isn't true. But her motives were clear from the very beginning, especially if you take into consideration the video that she posted in the very beginning of the upload. This is a woman that literally said, if you want to have an easy payday, go sleep with an athlete and have a child with them because athletes are really dumb and they don't use protection. So it looks like Brittany is going to get a bunch of money in child support, at least a couple million, give or take. But here's where it gets even sadder. PJ Washington's reaction to this on his Instagram story is just really sad. It seems like he's a man that just wants to see his child. Of course, one of the greatest pleasures a man could feel in life is giving birth to a child, and I don't mean to favor one gender than the other, but men typically get really happy when they finally have a son. He posted this story saying, if you knew the half, then this story saying, I miss my son, then another story saying, I don't understand why I can't see my son, before taking to Twitter saying that he just wants to see his son, he can't wait to see his son, stand on principle, and you got some nerve. So it's clear as day what happened here, and it's really unfortunate what happened here. I really think we've gotten to a point where, unfortunately, I know the NFL does something very similar to this, where they do some sort of athlete financial training where they try to teach athletes how to set themselves up for life financially by making good financial decisions. I feel like there needs to be some sort of protocol for young NBA athletes as well, because I see this happening a lot in the sense that basketball players are just taken advantage of by these women that literally will have their life subsidized for them as a result of child support payments. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.